on mute.
My friend up front doesn't like to talk.
We live. We live. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh.
Testing. Is this thing on?
Is that on? I don't like
Oh man, I done messed around. Took the song off, so we ain't got no intro today. So the intro didn't show up.
It ain't on either.
Yeah, it's deleted. I messed around and deleted it earlier. But we all good. We gonna get right on into this thing then. 1, 2, 3.
We're not up in it.
Yeah, we up in this thing.
Yeah, he said, are we up in this thing?
Yeah, we up in this thing. We up in this thing.
He in there.
They looking for some fumble.
Yeah, get that
a fumble.
Yeah, no fumble.
No fumble.
No fumble.
There wasn't no fumbling when the ladies had it. Let's make sure ain't no fumbling.
Oh, ain't no fumbling? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You got small hands. You gonna fumble.
Yeah. So you already know what it is. Yeah. You already know what it is. It's barbershop talk.
Yes,
we
sir.
We didn't do the intro today because it was uninstalled. But we don't need it today. We need all our time today because we're going to have a good conversation.
Sir.
So I'm the barber.
I'm the artist.
We got Fish.
Doug.
Sir. And we got Nephew over there.
He in the cut.
He in the cut.
Yeah.
Come on over here, Nephew. Get in here, man. Cause we gonna get you
right in the middle.
You get on over here.
Come on,
get in the lion's
man.
den.
Get on in here in the lion's
Hot
den.
seat, brother.
Yeah. We got a couple more people coming in to join us in a few. But we're gonna get right on this thing, man. We're gonna get right on this thing today. We talked last week we talked to the ladies about their understanding of the disconnection in the black community, in relationships, everything. We're disconnected across the board in the black community. I myself believe that we're disconnected across the board. White community, black community, whatever, every community. But we're gonna focus on our community today.
Excuse me, boss. You have a text message.
And like we said, the overall objective of this 3-part series is solutions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, bro always says it. He ended last year's show, 2023, saying, "We're not doing no more talking if we're not going to come up with any solutions." So we're already we're talking about the disconnect amongst our culture as a whole, because we see the buffoonery the most, but we want respect from others, but we need to try to work inside the house first before we can even get out there. So last week we had a conversation with the ladies, and I just want to say thank you first of all for the ladies who showed up last week. The numbers went up, man. People actually viewed and was paying attention to it. I mean, it's not always about the numbers, but just to see how it went up, it goes to show you that people actually tuned in and honed in, and they actually ran the show pretty good, man, to where, you know, we just sat back, asked a few questions, but we let them cook for the most part.
And we need y'all in the audience to understand that when we talk about numbers, we're talking about getting the message out. We don't care
not necessarily
about monetizing what we're doing. We care about the message getting out. We care about the conversation being heard and the comments and people paying attention, because whether you know it or not, it will get regurgitated. It will definitely be regurgitated, whether you do it on purpose or not. It's gonna be talked about.
And when you have a platform like this, and we ain't gonna waste a lot of time on it, but we got to get some of this stuff out. When you do have a platform like this, and we got to be very careful that the stuff that we putting out, that we feeding y'all, we're also taking it in ourselves. It makes no sense for us to be out here trying to shoot y'all some hoopla if we not out here living it ourselves.
Right.
So last week we talked to the ladies about the disconnect between the black women and the black men. And it was some solid stuff. But this week we got the brothers in here, and we're gonna talk about the disconnect, from our point of view, where the disconnect is between the black man and the black woman.
And I'm gonna start off because I know Fish gonna back me on this. I'm gonna start off by saying, ladies, people, it's our fault. It's the men's fault.
Now before because I know you finna cook. I know you finna cook. It's the men's fault. But can I put this disclaimer out before we take off from the runway?
Go ahead.
Just because you see men in here, this is not about to turn into the bashing hour. We're not about to use this as a catalyst to point fingers at the black woman.
Absolutely.
You know, we could just create this He-Man Woman Club, Haters Club right now, but that's not what it is. We're trying to find solutions. So we're actually sitting amongst each other to have this conversation and have dialogue on where we're falling off. Like, this is pretty much a mirror session today.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But if you get a couple of lashes, ladies, across your back, don't fall off.
Friendly fire.
Yeah, friendly fire. It's all in love. Yeah, and it's gonna be truth. It is gonna be truth. So I mean, they say truth hurts. So it's gonna be some truth in it too.
And understand this. Before we friendly fire at you, we'll fire at ourselves first.
This is a mirror. This is a mirror
We're gonna
exercise.
take accountability. We're not gonna understand when I say it's the men's fault. We're taking accountability.
Yes, sir.
Us guys here.
Yes.
We're not worried. We are worried about what the other guys are doing because we want everybody to. All men need to take accountability. So before we jump in or jump on anybody, you're gonna understand that we're taking accountability first for our actions, because we understand that if we are stepping, however we're stepping, that the women are following exactly the way we're stepping.
Right. So you ready to
cook. Let's cook.
Go ahead.
So
turn the stove on.
So when I talk about the disconnect, I have to take responsibility for my actions as a man and understand that I've said and done some wrong things across the board.
Right.
You know, and I as the guy that I am, I understand that I don't like the word influencer, so I'm gonna say that I'm a leader. I do things.
Right.
I do things that people pay attention to.
Right.
And as that guy, I understand that whoever is looking at me is going to duplicate exactly or similar to what I do, just like my son does.
Right.
But I had to tell my son, my youngest son, come on in. Okay. Walk around the back. You can walk here, kind of duck around there. But you in this thing. And my man Cowboy is in this. D Rich, some of y'all might know him as D Rich. You know, some of y'all might know him as Cowboy. Man,
royalty.
Man. And when he sit down, you will see what I'm talking about.
Let's get it rolling.
But so I'm always I have lately a lot lately in the last 10 years been very conscious of what I do and say, because I know there are people watching me.
Right.
So in the midst of the actions that I put out there, I do attempt to be better in life and walking Christ-like.
Right.
And walking Christ-like means that you have to do and say the things that you do and say. Those things, what comes out of your mouth should be the same way your feet move.
Absolutely. Come on.
You know, so I had to back step a few times, because I know who I am, and those that know who I am understand what I'm saying when I say that. So as a man, what I understand and where God has put me as a man and have put every man in the same position. Every man has the same positioning as a man, and every man comes with all the tools to be a man, whether they were sharpened by another man or not. You still have the same tools.
No, it's embedded in you.
It's embedded
it's
in
the
you.
blueprint.
What's the saying? It ain't in you. I mean, it ain't on you. It's in
It's
you.
in you.
Absolutely.
It's in you.
Yeah.
So every man has it in them
Yeah.
to be a man.
Absolutely.
Every man don't walk that walk.
That's correct.
And it comes from not being influenced by another man. Your father, most of all, a grandfather, an uncle, somebody in the street that is doing man stuff.
They said young, in order to be a man, you got to see a man.
Yeah, you got to see a man. Yeah.
And so,
Yeah. So I definitely want people to understand that as a whole, I understand that God made me to be a leader. So, in this episode too, I'm gonna try my best to not use profanity because I'm on something today.
Okay.
I'm on something today.
All right.
So, I'm understanding that God put me and made me to be a leader. He also did it to every man that's sitting here.
Right.
So I'm not talking about myself. I'm speaking about every man because God made us first. There's a little joke out there, and help me with the scriptures. But there's a scripture in the Bible that says, for 30 minutes, it's going to be quiet in heaven for 30 minutes. And it's a joke. There is a joke, and the scripture is used as the platform for the joke. I can't. But the guy said that the men were going to be in heaven first, and the lady said, "How can you say that?" And he quoted the scripture that God said that it's going to be at least 30 minutes that it's going to be quiet in heaven.
And then when they get there,
they get to make all the noise. We're gonna have fun with this today too.
Yeah.
But understanding that in the aspect of that, we're not worried about being quiet. We're not worried about the joke. We're worried about everybody understanding who the head is.
Right.
Everybody needs to understand who the head is. There's also Isaiah, where God said, I got the book up front. God said that we are, He made us just below an angel. Just a little lower than the angel. So it's God, it's Jesus, it's the angel, and then there's right up under the angel is the man. And if that's the case, and then he said, the rest of the scripture said, and everything else beneath his feet.
Okay.
So with that scripture, again, ladies, listen, don't hear. With that being said, there's a hierarchy here, and we are messing up the rest of the world. By the way, we're out of position. We're out of position. If we don't function just below the angel and everything under our feet, we're not commanding and demanding respect. We're not moving in the honor that we should move in. That's why men don't get respect. That's why women assume the responsibility of the father role in the household, and then you got women out here saying, I had to play the mommy and the daddy. You're not playing the mommy and the daddy. Listen, you're playing the mommy without a daddy. You're just assuming responsibility of things that are not there to assume the responsibility. Those men that walk away, those men that leave, get you pregnant, and so I apologize for all 100 million of those guys that have walked away and left a woman pregnant to have babies on their own, because that's called irresponsible.
Absolutely.
So I ain't gonna hog the mic.
We was waiting. We was letting you cook till you.
Yeah.
We was waiting for the window. We was just waiting for the pause.
So,
and then
the crock pot is on right now.
So in everything that we do as men, we should be stepping that way. Understand, and here's a helpful understanding. The only reason women go get BBLs, want to be on the stripper pole at home, on the stripper pole
brother
in
love
the
that
living
stripper
room.
pole.
That's
his favorite rapper.
But yes, they get the BBL because the men don't take care of their woman at home, but he take care of the stripper.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's in there.
Yeah,
that's it.
Going
Yeah,
toward,
yeah, you taking care of the stripper. So now your woman at home, she just got the purse. You just gave her a purse, but you just gave this stripper $1,000.
Rent money. Yeah.
Rent money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you taking care of them, and you're not taking care of home. And the woman wants the attention. She wants all of the attention. So you got to focus your attention on one person, on one woman, so that you can receive the blessings that God, because he said when you find a wife, you find a good thing. And there are abundance of blessings behind that.
Man, look, real quick. So, in saying that, knowing our role as men, it's imperative. It is very important that we don't drop the ball. And at some point in your life, you've seen a relationship growing up, whether it was your own folks or your aunties or some, you kind of saw a blueprint on whether it was good, bad, right, wrong, or different. You saw it. And so what you took from that when you became a man, some of them nuggets should have fell on some solid ground. And I think because where we fumbled and where we dropped the ball at, it's just too much. It's, at this point in the game, it's just way too much access to the wrong shit. You said you weren't going to cuss, but I let one slip. But here we go. It's too much influences on the wrong thing. We have a show, and I'm going to say this now before somebody steal it, because me and Jeff going to do this show. Tubi movies. Okay. And that's not it. We're not going to get all into that, but Tubi movies. So we're having a show after we finish this series called Tubi or Not Tubi. Okay. That is the question.
Yes, sir.
So let me go where I'm going with that real quick and brief. Because we dropped the ball as men, and now these women have way more access to buffoonery when they look at Tubi movies. Because the Tubi movies are saying it's cool to cheat if it ain't all right at home. It's cool that if your husband or your boyfriend or your partner isn't working, that there's somebody on the side to do that to. There's too much access for them to do wrong, and there's too much stuff for them to see to where they say, well, if Joe Blow ain't doing it, my man ain't doing it. But you see as it goes and it plays itself out, a lot of times it doesn't end up well at the end, but it plants that seed in their mind that they can rock that way. Because we're not standing firm and standing 10 toes as men on communication. We're not standing 10 toes as providers and protectors either. And we're not listening to these women. And they want to be heard. Women want to be heard. And this is a conversation, like I said, where we have to start looking inward at ourselves. You know, it's a lot of us as men who aren't healed from a lot. We deal with trauma. And I'm going to say this real quick, because I have a question to ask you.
Welcome, Cowboy.
Cowboys in the building. Y'all see all the purple and all of the royalty.
What's up, baby? What's up?
What's going on, man?
Okay, I'm gonna hit this. I saw a sister's podcast the other day, and she referred to the man as when these men out here want to be bitches, want to act like a bitch. So I thought about that real quick, and I said to myself, so do you consider yourself one? Is that the crown for a woman, or is that how y'all depict us in a way of that something feminine? But see, here's the thing. Now, hold on. Now, this is where I'm going with that.
I'm with you.
Here's where I'm going with that. Men already have it hard enough. Some men have it hard enough not dealing with their trauma, not dealing with their emotional side. We don't need some ratchet woman coming in here telling me when I'm trying to talk to you about something I got going on that I'm acting like a bitch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So at that point now, he's not going to talk to you.
Right.
He's not gonna say how he feels. He's not gonna express himself when something's bothering him. he's gonna shut down and completely stay in macho mode. Because as a woman, you haven't even given him a safety net as his partner to even feel like he can talk to you.
Here's the problem. A woman says that to a man because he is doing so.
We're doing so as what?
He's
acting. What does acting like a bitch mean? First of all, what is a bitch? What is that?
Well, it's a female dog, but
but what is that though?
But here's the thing.
That ain't what she referring to when she say.
When they say act like that, sometimes we pay. There's a safe place for us, but as the head, if you always crying,
yeah, there you go.
What I'm gonna do? As the woman,
yeah.
If every time I turn around, I gotta piece you back together.
Okay. Yeah. That's what she talking about.
Where's some protection? Okay. If now we go through and I have my moments. I lost my mom. I still cry about it sometimes. So don't get it twisted on that. But at the end of the day, if every time I come in I'm crying to my wife, oh baby, this was hard and this and this and this and this. Well, how safe is she gonna feel?
Facts.
Well, if something jump off, he gonna cry. I'm gonna have to fight. Not condoning the way that she said it, but at a certain point we have to.
I get it. So let me double back and say that's where us as men have to look inward. You have to, men now, we have to find us some safe spaces. Gentleman's Circle every Thursday night at 7:00.
Oh yeah, make sure you do that.
Yes, sir. Where we can be vulnerable,
right?
So that once we internalize where we messing up, then it won't be so hard for us to relate that back to a woman. Then it won't be a war of words.
Right.
We in the same house, dang near scraping the wall, not touching each other because there's some beef. When you should just see her walk by, hey girl, come here, let's go and knock this out, talk about it and get it over with.
Do you understand, everything you said is correct, but do you understand everything that I said earlier, they respond to our actions.
Correct.
So if we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing as a man, who are you being?
I guess the woman, I guess, at that point.
Yeah, because just like he said, if you're complaining, if you can't get the job done, if you're not being responsible, if you're not providing, protecting, if you're just in the world, in the way, what are you being? That's
kind of stretching it, because now it's almost like you saying the woman is in the way.
No, I'm not. That ain't what I'm saying.
Nah, but
as we quote the scripture, we the leader, we the head, we the this.
Yeah.
We go through things.
Yeah.
Right.
As men.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why Am I My Brother's Keeper comes in, where we do need those brothers that we can contact, maybe before you get home. Say, bro, I'm going through this, man, I had this going on, I had this day. But I think every man needs a man that, if it ain't your father, it's your partner, the gentleman's circle or whatever, where you can lean in, and some of this stuff, you don't even have to take it home.
Right.
If we can find a safe space to get that out before we even get home,
good.
Then,
that's good.
Our situation will be a lot better, because now I can just walk in and focus on the day at hand, what's going on at home, and dealing with what I need to deal with.
What is iron sharpening iron? If you're an iron, the woman can't be the iron.
No, that is correct.
So you gotta, like he said, pick up the phone and call you. Now what the woman is the polisher.
Yeah, she's gonna make it all nice.
She's gonna make it all nice and shiny. So if you're sharpened correctly, and you come home and you've done your thing, then she polishes you.
That's your safe place.
That's your safe place to land.
Yeah, I'm not saying Nikki just said if I had to be the man in every scenario. I'm not saying in every scenario, but there are some areas where a man may not be strong in some places.
Of course.
Yeah.
And this is not me personally. Ain't nobody jumped out there and called me no bitch. I'm just saying I heard that, and it just really kind of it really disturbed me when I heard that. But then it came from somebody who's a bum. But I mean that's neither here nor there. But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you two guys a question, and this finna get deep. I want y'all to hold no punches back with this question.
Okay.
What is your take on the black woman today? I'm not talking about the ones we knew that grew up to like just what you see today, as far as some of the stuff where women say he ain't man enough, he ain't doing this, or we need more men. We need the dating pool. It has piss in it. It's scarce on good men. What is your take on today's women?
Well, I think it's twofold.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because when you say the women, you know, sometimes what you're looking at is not really a woman.
Okay.
It's depending on, you know, when you say the dating pool, and then when you look at it, we can go back to what Jeff said at the beginning. Because we've been out of position, this is what they get.
Right.
So
long.
because we're out of position, they look at Tubi, they look at social media, they're looking to see what a real relationship should be,
And how about this?
what a real man should be, and
Who you
then they're
think
getting
pissing in
false
the pool?
sense of reality when you see everything you see is glamorous and glitz.
Yeah.
And then when you come and get the reality of it, where every day ain't gonna be pretty.
Mhm.
Right.
But everything I saw on TV was pretty. So now when I see this guy that he doesn't have on a business suit, he's not in the Bentley, he's wearing work boots and a uniform, but he's a good dude. But I'm looking for
What a
the
Tyler Perry
executive.
character, yeah.
I'm looking for this, that, and the other. Not and then we get what we get now. You can't take me to the Cheesecake Factory.
Wow.
You can't take me here, because if you want to date me, you got to take me here. Well, if I spend $200-300 on you, you don't even know how to order off the menu. You can't even read the menu.
Yeah.
That.
But you
facts.
want to go to a $300 restaurant, and you saying filet, but don't.
Yeah, exactly.
You
It's
know-
like, oh, these men just don't know how to open up and talk to me. Well, if you're talking with broken English and over there and her and you ain't never been nowhere and I can't connect with you like that, then there's not going to be any communication.
Right.
I don't really have nothing to talk to you. You can blame that on the man all day long and say he's not this, he's not that, but to whom is given much is required.
Right.
So I mean, if you're expecting these things and you want a man, but then you're not lined up
Yeah.
with what your expectations are, then just be quiet and just stay out of that. You know, you might as well just fall back and be single. There's no use in saying what a man isn't doing or who he's not or what he's not becoming when you're not presenting yourself in a way to where you can even be approached by a man.
And let's circle back
You know?
around. Are we showing the young men how to approach women?
That's the question.
Right.
Too.
Because, you know, you could be,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm just speaking for me, you know, older cousins, we were out there in the summer, you know, back in the day we had those games, everybody, let's see how many numbers you can get in the summer, see how many girls you can go through, whatever. And if you wasn't hollering at girls, it was almost like your badge of honor was how many women
That
could
was the
you
right
get.
passage. Absolutely.
Right.
Yes, sir.
But
yeah.
but the older you get,
Yeah.
realize that, man, we done messed up some people.
That was the
Mhm.
game.
We done did some.
We done damaged some folks, man.
I had
So, what makes it right? You know, so we got to look at all of that.
Yeah. Me personally, as a man with sons, I haven't always been picture perfect in the relationship field, but I can guarantee you, there's not one person I've ever dated or an ex-wife that could say that I wasn't that guy. Like I wasn't a gentleman. Like whether how it failed, but me not displaying being a man or a gentleman never was the case. And that's because now you look, I have 26 years right here.
Yeah.
And it's a blessing. And this is my receipt.
Yeah.
This is my receipt. I can come in here, throw on a suit, and tell y'all I've been doing this, and I'm Joe Blow, Joe Black, and I've got it all together. No, but one thing my receipt can never tell you is that even in his dating, I get on Instagram and I see the Insta stories where he's out with his lady, dating her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Getting to know her.
Yeah.
And I have to sometimes, stick my chest out a little bit because he saw it.
Yeah.
And I just think as men, especially if you have young men that you're raising up, not even that. I got Lito, a young protege, looking at me to do the right thing, looking at Jeff to do the right thing.
Right.
When these young men have a model, not mommy, but a model man in their life to pattern themselves after, then some of those cycles can get broken. I hate to hear this, and I've never heard him say it, and I probably would glue his lips tight if I heard him ever call his lady bro.
Okay.
I don't understand this bro culture between bro, like and it's gotten so bad that women call them they
tell
own
them, yeah,
each.
right.
Bro, I'm like, what is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
But I guess that's maybe where we dropping the ball too. It ain't enough bros for them to,
Yeah.
so they got to bro each other. I guess I don't know.
On that, you know, you date a young lady
That irks
that's
me,
already
man.
got
That's
a
one of
kid,
my pet peeves there.
and she's got a young man. You're not married. I'm not saying you got a discipline, but the way it is now, you can't even say nothing to this individual. And I'm not saying you're here to correct or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but if you've been seeing a woman and you've trusted me enough to put this child in front of me, now it's an issue if, you know, there's correction. Not saying you're spanking them, but even to tell them anything,
Yeah.
now you have issues now. So it goes back to us being out of line again, or they've been out of line to where you can lay with them, you can use that money, but he can't say nothing to Johnny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a touch. It's a touchy subject.
It is a touchy subject, and the reason it's so touchy, the reason all of this is touchy, is because we're so far away from what the design, the actual design.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct.
The design is not a design anymore; it's a maze.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh
You know,
man.
and it drives me bananas. It drives my old man. He just wrote a book about the blended family because he did it. He did it.
Yes.
That's
And
the
this
one,
is
man. Yeah.
what my dad did, and I've seen some brothers do. I did it myself because I had a role model. I had somebody that showed me what to do. There are no stepchildren in this house.
That's it.
There's one name, one last name in this house. So the woman he married had 3 girls by 2 different men, and the 3 girls had different names,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a different name.
Okay.
He married her. He said, "There's one name in this house."
Yes.
He adopted them 3 girls,
That point. Correct.
and he treated them right now. Them 3 girls call him daddy.
Absolutely.
Now, and they say they have the same issues with a father that regular blood daughters would have with their father if he's not in their life like the way they're supposed to.
Right,
They
right.
want it to be.
Yeah.
So in that, you have to understand, as a man, you got to take, when you take responsibility, you got to take responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
There's no half measures.
It's all
Right.
It's
you.
all whole
Yeah,
measures.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It's all whole measure.
Yeah.
So you can't, if you go into, first of all, a man ain't got no business going into a house with another woman. Well, another woman, this is a house that she has made
Mm-hmm.
for her and her children.
Mhm.
A man has no business going into her house.
Mhm.
He should have his own,
Mm-hmm.
and he is building for whoever it is that he's dating for.
Right.
And come on, baby, if we're gonna be together, we're gonna stay over here,
Absolutely.
and it's gonna go this way
This way.
until it can go a different way.
Absolutely.
It's not gonna go that way,
Yeah.
because any man that moves into another woman's house has allowed her to become the leader
Yeah.
of the house.
And
this is my
today's
stuff.
women are gonna
Yeah.
let you know off the
And when you
rip.
fall
This
out,
is mine,
Yeah.
and
My
you got
This is my house.
You can
get
leave.
your little
Yep,
stick with your little
exactly.
red handkerchief on it and roll up
Roll
about
up
it.
on it, yeah.
Take them kids with you. And if you brought a son in here,
Yeah.
a bonus child, he going with you.
But
You
you
know.
came, but you leave what you came with. You
Yeah.
leave
That's it.
nothing else, nothing extra.
Your dirty
So,
job.
Fred, go on and rephrase the question again for a minute. What was the question again? Did you
The
phrase-
initial question
Yeah, what the
was,
initial question again?
I was asking, what is your stance on today's women, especially with the divide between the black woman and the man and the woman,
Okay.
period. But specifically in our culture,
Okay.
because of all of the Tubi movies and all of the celebrities you see 5 months in, now they divorcing, and it's like they some of these sisters actually pattern themselves after, and it's true. I'm not lying. You will hear them say, I want Sierra's prayer or whatever that
Yeah.
prayer was,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
how Beyonce rose was,
Somebody
so
come in and-
so they pattern themselves after some of these celebrity wives and stuff like that. So my question is, like, with it being a divide, what is your take on today's black women?
I think y'all kind of already hit it on the head. I think all three of y'all said. I think it's as far as access. I think these women nowadays have too much access to stuff that's going to influence them the wrong way. Also, I think the loyalty is not there. I don't think people are willing stay around when it get rough. Soon as something get hard, I'm out.
Yeah.
Also, to me, I think women nowadays feel like they can do better than you. The next man up gonna do better than you. So I ain't gotta stay with you. What I'm gonna stay with you for? I got 10 dudes in my DM telling me they gonna take me somewhere tomorrow. Why I'm gonna deal with you? I just go deal with this dude. And then she go get with that dude, and he might have had a problem that you got. Let's say I'm a guy that I work hard, but I don't tell her I love her. I don't show her no romance.
Right.
Well, this guy might give her attention, but he might beat on her. And then
Right.
this guy might not beat on her, but he might be a crackhead. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So you're gonna trade one man for another, and at the end of the day, all men have flaws.
Not everybody has flaws.
Everybody, yeah.
Everybody.
I'm talking about specifically for the men, but I know you're right, absolutely.
But at our age, at all of our age, and you being 26,
Yeah.
he has 26 years worth of garbage.
Absolutely, he got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he, you know, I got 55 years.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's got some. We have experience in trash.
Yeah.
Now, the objective is that the flaws. We have to grow up and understand that what was in the past is a lesson. You've learned from those things, and you move forward. The problem is that we project all our garbage on those other females.
Absolutely.
So we get caught up in those relationships and having those relationships, and I can admit, and my mom probably listens. She hate when I talk about this, but I dealt with issues with my mom. And I think I got to be about 30 years old when I understood I was dealing with abandonment issues.
Man, I was just about,
That's
and
why
that
I,
is
that's
one
why
of the.
I kept.
That is
females
one
around.
of the main things that brothers don't want to admit. I have actually said it out of my mouth, and you, in order to expect something from somebody else, man, you have to make sure that you right too.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
have said it out of my mouth, and it can be quoted. My mother's departure had a big part in my abandonment issues, and it caused me to be a runner.
Right.
It caused me to be the first early on. I've gotten better with it to where I'm just kind of concrete with it, but I still keep my head on the swivel. And I be in some situations I may have lost a good one from self-sabotage, but because I first signed of something that just smelled funny, looked wrong, I was out of there. I was out of there, and by the grace of God, I can honestly say, when I got up out of there, I got up out of there.
Yeah.
But I did not stay to talk about it. I did not stay to see her side or even see if it was something that could be fixed early on. And that will kill a man. That will be another thing that a woman will look at, because right at that moment, what she sees is he's not stable.
There you go.
So
I can't depend on
him
Absolutely.
because he gonna get up out of here. I said something wrong to him, and I dealt with that for so long, like, because my mom did it and just dipped out. My whole thing was, hey, yo, if because my mom did it and I know the pain it caused me, I was like, yo, I know that how this is gonna feel. I'm gonna get you before you get me.
Do it to you.
Right.
So I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So I'm gonna go on and pack up and get on up out of here. And it's like, yo, the water is shallow, brother. It really wasn't that deep.
Gotcha.
And I may have lost out on a good one because
absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
but on the flip side of that, like Jeff was saying, you know, when you have as a man today, us today, seeing what's going on between us and the black woman, man, we got to start nipping some of them problems in the bud now.
Yeah,
like we had to start doing some deep soul searching
Yeah.
before you even approach a woman. I was having a conversation with Nikki last night, and just a conversation that we had, you know, it's like you could tell a person, oh, I'm good, I'm straight, I'm ready to. At that point, you're probably just vulnerable and want somebody. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't even done enough soul searching to even know that you're well equipped to move on to the next.
Right.
I know some women who have used men for safety nets. Brother's good guy, came in, changed the narrative, showed me something different. But when it was good till it wasn't good no more. But when they realized, when they realized that, you know, this ain't really what I'm built for,
You out.
So let me
They
ask
are.
y'all this then. Are we able to say you're not ready today? So many times we just jump in. I'm saying as men
As
or
men?
as us looking out at each other.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Brother, I think you may be moving too soon.
Yeah.
You know, you just came out of this, or you hurt,
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Or not even so much as that. With this young man being a young man, you may not be ready to date yet. Your finances are not in position.
Yeah.
You know, your life is not where it needs to be. Sometimes we start dating when we really are not in position to date.
Right.
We can't afford to date. Our bills behind, our credit jacked up,
Yeah.
and we gonna start wasting energy or pouring energy into something else that could be great, but in turn it may end up crashing and burning because we're not really ready at this moment to do it.
Yeah.
And I think that goes back to us as men, you know, stepping back up, even with the young men, pulling them in. Hey man, before you do this, make sure you have this. Because back in the day, they would tell you, you getting ready to get married, you need to have your house, your car, your money, your whatever. Now, you got people getting married and going back home with mom and daddy.
Yeah.
We married, but we live at home with mom and daddy.
It's backwards.
Who looks bad?
It's hustling back.
The man looks bad.
The man looks real bad because, you know, to have to ask another grown man and you married, and, you know, granted, this is my second marriage, been there, done that.
Right.
But the worst feeling ever in life as a man to have a wife to have to go to another man and ask him to let me borrow or can I have? And then you'll get mad if that man say, well, if I'm gonna do this, bring your wife to So, you know, we have to be mindful of these things, and these are some of the things that we can, you know, impart to these young guys when stuff is happening. You know, hey, it's not time for that.
Yeah, it's not time.
While you young, focus on getting all the money you can, all the career path, or whatever it is you want to do, get all that out. And then start, and I think that's part of the problem too. We just jump out, and, you know, as soon as we old enough, maybe because we didn't want to stay at mama's house no more, we give it the first relationship smoking.
And a lot of times, and when you jump in like that, in that type of situation, she's already established.
Right.
So you just like, I just don't want to be at mom's house. So Shorty's saying it's good, cool if I come live over here, and that's the ultimate no-no. If you did that young, you know what I'm saying, that was a lesson you learned. Because 9 times that you learn that early, that's one of the things that'll sting you. Rashad, if he don't mind me telling, he's right here. You know, when he went through his situation with his first girlfriend, you know, he rubbing his head like, oh, Dad finna put me. I'm not putting your business out there. No, it's like we had the conversation, and he basically told me exactly what I wanted to hear. He was like, I made some mistakes with that, and before I jump into anything else, I got to make sure that I'm right. Now, granted, you know, lightning struck him twice, and he found somebody decent. I actually like her, and as a man and as a father, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't take nobody to my grandmother if I knew me and her was swinging from the chandelier. She was just there for a good time, not a long time, and that wasn't nobody that I wanted to introduce my grandmother to, unless she had some substance, or I knew she had her head on straight and was something that I was really going to entertain for the long haul, and maybe because I date with a purpose. So, you know, that, but like even him, like he was just like, I ain't ready to get out there. There's some things I got to go back to and reassess, and that's him seeing some of the mistakes I made young, and I'm grateful for that, man, because a lot of these young men don't have it, and you see how they are. They got the baby boy syndrome. They just running from this chick, knocking her up, going laying up on this baby mama, and some of these young females are giving these dudes that type of access, and these young men are misguided.
So the young ladies that accept it because they learned from young ladies that accepted it. And also, back to our responsibility, we didn't do our due diligence for the daughter,
right,
and to show her and to be an example of what she's supposed to look for.
Right.
So when you leave the household, so speaking to you, I'm gonna speak directly to you. When you are ready to be married and do the responsible thing, until then, don't. I can tell you not to have sex. I'm going to tell you, save it for when you get married. But
haven't we had this conversation?
But when you get
you're
ready,
I ain't never slid him a condom in my life and
yeah.
told him, as a man, as a true father, he can say he'll easily say you capping dad for the lie, or you gonna tell the truth. I've always told him, that old school father thing when your son out there, oh that's my boy, let me go buy you some condoms. I would tell him I would prefer you wait. I ain't never put a condom in his hand, brother.
When you know you're ready to get married, have at it. But if you know this the chick you gonna marry, wait until you get married. But have at it, bro. Do all of those things that a responsible man is supposed to do. Yeah. Open the doors, take her out to eat. Okay. But all this stuff you're doing, all this stuff men do now, this dating thing where you want to take her to the finest restaurant. The only reason females know about the finest restaurant is because niggas talk that mess early. Yeah. We put that in our game. Yeah. Well, I won't say we.
No,
I don't.
I'm genuinely me.
Men put that in their game. Yeah. Baby, I can do this for you. I can do this for you. You want to do this? I got you, baby. Don't even trip. Yeah. I'll buy you a new car. You need a new car? That Toyota you got it.
No onomatopoeia.
But then you can't keep it up.
But then you can't keep it up.
Can't keep it up. However you started is exactly how you have to finish it.
What I tell you last time you was here when you was getting ready to go on a date? Go to McDonald's and cut that thing in half and take her to a picnic, cut them fries in half, and y'all sit down and y'all have a conversation. Because the best date in the world is a 3-hour conversation.
I ain't gonna lie. That is the truth, man.
That is true, because that's how I started talking to my lady that I'm with now.
Yeah.
Like I remember our first date was, we went to the movies, we went to go see Creed, and like the movie was over at like 11 something, but like we was in my car in front of our house till like 3 something in the morning.
Yeah.
Just having
conversation. Yeah, just have a conversation because before you should even want to take her anywhere, you got to know that you can have a conversation, communicate,
and be honest.
And be honest.
Image is everything.
Lie about that money.
Yeah, man. Image is
lie about the stuff we got, how much we make, what we doing, and the longer you stay, it's gonna come out.
It's the truth, and that's facts. I see a lot of brothers, and it's not for me to judge, but sometimes I see the brothers on social media, and I just be like, stop.
I know you in real life.
I'm like, I know you. You know what I'm saying? You're not that guy. Like, get out of that, because that's not what's gonna attract her as much as you holding a general conversation with her. Like me, because it's just the artistic side of me, man. I like the picnics. I like the strolls in the park. I'd rather have a conversation than text you anytime, man. And it's just like, you learn so much about a person. I tell people, man, alphabet dating is key, man. It gives you an opportunity. If Shorty got A, then you got B. You're getting a chance to see within them alphabets and them different dates how creative she is. She gets to see how creative you are. And we had this. I think we had a show about dating. We did one time. And I always tell men, brothers, when you are dating a woman, sports bars, in places where there's large crowds, that you take a female homegirl or something like that. It's not intimate enough. Absolutely. It's not intimate enough for y'all to have a one-on-one conversation. Yeah. And everything does not have to cost. Yeah. These dudes wait for 1 calendar year wrapped around the earth for the 15th or 14th, whenever Valentine's Day is. They shucking and jiving in there at the last minute, buying cards that have no meaning. I'm a writer. Yeah. My words are enough. I'm gonna write you something. I don't have to take you to Shay so and so. Let's cook something. Let's paint together. Let's get into a creative mode.
And we don't do none of that.
Some men don't. I'm sitting here watching.
I give you all year. I don't need, like you say. I don't wait till the 14th. She blessed all year.
You gonna know how I feel about you.
On the 14th, we ain't finna go spend no overprice. And we went one year. We weren't even thinking of Valentine's. It was like the day before, the day after. And they jacked the restaurant price up so high, it was just ridiculous.
Those flowers die.
Like, man, we not even.
She not eating that chocolate. It's gonna be ashy the next year when she open it. It's like all of that stuff that's just signified to that one day is hogwash. And
but it's for show.
It's for show. And for the ladies. And I know it's about the brothers, but I would say any woman who gets up in arms about that one particular day need to really check her dude, because it's like, dang, if this is how you bring it, and I had to wait for the calendar to wrap around the world to get this, you need to check how you rocking and his how you showing affection anyway, because if he had to wait all the way back around for that, no onomatopoeias, please. Yeah. And no, but no amens, no onomatopoeias. But anyway, no, but seriously, but back to that, and you know what I'm saying, like we as men seasoned, and we got him here. It's our job to make sure that we're showing. These now, let's just be honest. There's some women out here ain't worth a nickel 98. They not. Come on. They not worth that. Yeah. But you know they front like they are. Yeah. I can't take a chick that's on social media showing her body. I mean, if that's what you want to do, fine. But leave something for the imagination. I really couldn't take a female like that serious to say that this is somebody that I want to date wholeheartedly.
So she's not gonna be grandmama then, is what you're saying?
Well, no, not that, because not only that too, I have sons. Okay. I have to also. Okay. This social media world is wide open. My 12-year-old has a TikTok.
They can get on there and see everything.
So if I'm dating shorty, and he can go look on her page, and, she naked. That's you, Pops. Yeah, he ain't gonna have it off the top. He's not gonna look. He ain't gonna have it. He gonna check me first. Hey, man, she trash. That's exactly what's gonna be. Hey, Pops, Pops, that. You like that? She trash. I got you. Yeah. And you know what? As a young man, I had to fall back and listen to the young folks and be like, wow.
Yeah, because they see stuff you don't see sometimes.
So what are we doing then to turn this thing around?
Man, we got to start holding a standard, man, of actually just being men. We can't be, and a lot of it is fear. Mm-hmm. Let's just say it. A lot of it is fear. A lot of us are afraid to just really stand up, man up, and take that because of. I'm gonna say it, man, and y'all can agree or disagree. A lot of us fear the black woman too. We fear her because where she is now and the things that they see and the stuff that they have access to, they are literally using that as a blueprint how they talk to us. Yeah. So the thing is, we have to stand firm on what we believe in, and let's get spiritual for a second. A man that's not praying and not seeking God for any direction for his own life can't lead his kids. He can't even lead a woman. Yeah. I go through things just like every man in this room or any man out there in this world. But you know what? Before I put pillar to post, I literally cry out to God and ask him to show me where are the errors of my ways. Because I don't want to be one of these dudes who's the model or the standard of every black woman's fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be him. I don't want to be some female story of, yeah, I dated Kai Frey and yeah, he played me to the left. He just like. You're not going to be able to sit up there and say, you just like them other. You're not with me. If it fell off for some other reason. But it wasn't because I was what you're normally used to, man. And where I know my shortcomings are, I'm working hard as a man to fix my own. And that's how we turn it around, by looking at self first. We have to actually start looking at ourselves as men. We have to stop modeling, because there's some weak men out here, brother, who need the likes and who need the validation from Facebook.
And I got a question for you on that. Like you said, if you ain't praying for yourself.
Yeah.
So as a woman, if this man ain't praying, then she need to. We already messed up.
Yeah.
If that woman is praying more than you, or praying over that house more than you,
it's whack. Yeah, it's
because
whack.
you know, it's just like you laying in the bed. Did you go check see if the doors was locked? Did you? Secure that house. Yeah.
Right. Facts.
You hear a noise and you, babe, you hear that? Go see what that is.
You know, send her to go see.
Go see what that is, man. Somebody at the door, man.
Now she done got her head bust and you mad. Yeah. And same thing with these women who are sexually clad when you go out with your man. I have seen, and I know y'all have too, a woman, you might be out at a restaurant or just hanging with your fellas, out eating, and a brother come in with his girl, and her breast is out, her thighs is out, everything is out, just super out, not in a classy way. Like, cause I have some women that I always say that I've heard women say that it's an insecurity in a man when he's complaining or he has an issue with her showing her body. That's not always
No,
true.
that's
It's
not
not every man is an
called
insecure.
respect.
It's called respect.
It's called respect.
If you allow your woman to, a real man would check that before y'all even step out the door. We not going because now, but don't mug the sleazy greasy perv who's sitting up there salivating at the mouth.
You ready to fight? What
You mugging. She
at
walking in front of you. You behind her looking at every dude around. Make sure he ain't. You ready to knuck and buck and fight the brothers that's looking. But hey, you let her leave like that, bro. You let her leave like that. So if we don't start taking a stance as men, then these women ain't gonna follow suit. It's gonna always be a fight between them and us. If we don't even just take a stand as having a purpose for our own life, you know, there's a lot of career women because a woman gonna throw some. Let me say some. I don't like to say women. Some women to throw them degrees in your face.
Yes.
Hey brother, I'm gonna tell all the brothers who watching, stay clear of the degree chick. That one that's always now listen to what I'm saying first. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Stay clear of the degree chick that's always talking about it. Not that she has it, but the one that every conversation is my degrees. But let me tell you something. Common sense really ain't common, but common sense is something that's God given.
Yeah.
A degree is something that you had to put your head to the book, study, had to sacrifice some things to get those degrees. That doesn't always mean that you're the catch because you got 4 and 5 degrees behind your name. Yeah. So the degree, so stay clear of the chick that's always in every conversation. Well, my degree, I got a degree in this. Well, what else do you got going, shorty? Because after that, I mean, you're gonna show me your doctorates. That's fine. Kudos to you. I'm glad you did something for yourself. Because some men who are insecure and some men who don't have that, that's when they fall in the place of feeling less than.
Intimidated.
They're going to be intimidated.
Them the ones that sign prenups.
Yeah.
You got to be the man regardless. I don't care how much money you make.
Yes.
You got to be the man.
Because if she coming at you like that, man, you're going to be in bad shape. I'm not saying don't talk to her. I'm saying stay clear of the one that's going to throw that in your face every conversation. You down there rolling your, I know you got 2 doctorates. Oh, I know you got a master's. Okay, goddamn. But damn, you don't even know how to boil ramen noodles. Like, dude, like, come on, like, get the degrees out of here. We need to just stop being at battle. That's all.
What we need to do, here's the solution for the men, and I think that this will make everything right. Stop paying attention to the nonsense that we see in women. And the second part of that one is recognize that you're the issue.
Okay.
You are the issue.
Take ownership.
Take ownership.
Okay.
Because every woman that does the things that she does and throws things in your face and does this is because we do it.
Okay.
Women repeat after men all the time. If you listen to social media now, they are saying the exact same thing men were saying before social media.
Okay.
When men talk game, when men talk about how much of a player they are, and they sit back and have these conversations, and women are around, women leave and they either want to be like that or they don't want to talk to you.
And some women have magnified the game.
Yeah.
3 times worse than we ever played the game. It's raw.
It used to be back when I was doing what I was doing. It used to be a very finite percent of women that could have sex without emotions.
Yeah.
That number is huge now.
Yeah, it's exponential.
Yo, and
it's huge now.
You used to see jokes around tax time. It was like get you a big girl because she has low self-esteem and she ready to blow that check on. Get you up under. But man, let me tell you, nowadays Lizzo done told the big girls they can look like a can of busted biscuits. They coming out. They coming out. So trying to get up under the big chick, thinking that she gonna take care of you around tax time. She ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe too, cause she got over 45K followers, cause she half naked.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, that ain't flying no more either.
Yeah. And so we allow these things. We not only do we allow these things, we've created these things.
Yes, sir.
We've created. the strip joint will go out of business
If we stop doing it.
if we stop doing
I've
it.
said that many times.
If we
men stop
abortion
and money
abortion
and
with
time.
clinics will be out of business
Yeah.
if we stop having sex out of wedlock.
Okay.
Or just randomly having sex and having kids. It's just so much. OnlyFans, all this prostitution would just be out the business. A pimp would be a mad joker. He'd be a mad nigga every day, all day, because ain't nobody buying nothing.
He got to find a new occupation at that point.
He got to find a new occupation.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but again, we co-sign all of this mess,
We do.
and we are not presenting ourselves as the real ideal of men.
We need to pour into our women more too. Just like
we got to pour into ourselves,
right?
And pour. We need to get the man thing in us.
Yeah,
the
but
man
once you,
that thing in
that's
us.
what I'm saying. But once you like, you a stand up dude. Finch, you a stand up dude. Fisher, you a stand up dude. You coming along. I consider
Cowboy.
myself one of the cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh man, no doubt. But this is my thing. Like once we have internalized who we are as men, and we have taken our place as men, then when you meet a young lady, don't just take her for face value. Pour into her too. You already seeing we up against the Tyler Perry movies and where they got side pieces. And I said this today, man. I said that we'll talk about this on the Tubi show, but I will just touch on it real quick. Tyler Perry, to me, sometimes has it all wrong, because the majority of the women in his movies, correct me if I'm wrong, they're career women. They have their own money, they have their own cars, they have everything that they need as women in most of his movies. They are established.
Yeah.
But their only weakness is they weak behind dick.
Yeah.
Every one of them has majority of the movies, these women have fell victim to the peen.
The fatal flaw.
Yeah,
that is the number.
But that's what they're supposed to do. That's what normally understand. A strong man in the presence of a woman is going to make her weak. Period. It don't matter how much money she got.
Okay.
See, that's where when you were talking about the doctors and all of this stuff, none of that shit means nothing to a strong man.
Yeah. Sure.
And so I'm gonna sit
You
here and
can
listen
see,
to
yeah,
you.
because
I'm
you
gonna sit
can
here
see
and
through.
I'm gonna sit here and listen to you, and I'm gonna say, yeah, all that's good.
Yeah.
I'm a barber.
Yeah. Now what?
Yeah. Now what? You know, and
Yeah.
but I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm a man's man, and I don't care. I had my ex-wife said this to me one time. She said, I am the one with the doctor's degree.
Okay.
And I said, and?
Yeah.
And so we're talking to the same, and my exact words were, we're talking to the same person that walked across stage and told the dean of the school that her husband should get an honorary doctorate degree, a master's degree, because he helped me with half my
Still
homework.
behind you.
Yeah.
So, and then you want to throw this in my face.
Yeah.
Understand that stuff means nothing to me, like it don't mean nothing to God.
Yeah.
Because God ain't gonna, when you get in front of
You
God,
can't
God
take
ain't
no-
gonna say how many degrees you got.
Yeah.
Nah.
He ain't gonna say none of that.
Nah.
In fact, he gonna say everything that you have means nothing to me. I want to know what you did with what you have.
Yeah. And don't lie, because I got a whole list of stuff that you did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw you.
All
Yeah.
of it. That stuff means
It's already
nothing.
written.
So if it don't mean nothing to God, it
Yeah.
don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
See, that's where the man has to stand up. Because
Okay.
if it don't mean nothing to God, who are we following?
Facts.
Who are we following? Because God told us. He didn't tell the woman. He told us to follow him, and the woman will follow us, and the kids will follow us. See, we're from a long line of people that haven't followed God.
Facts.
And we listen to social media, we listen to all these people, these quotes and all of this stuff, and none of that stuff means nothing. None of that stuff means nothing if you ain't quoted, if it ain't come from scripture. To me,
Right.
to me, it don't mean nothing. I tell people all the time, and as soon as they, well, you such and such said it, and
Yeah.
I mean, so in essence, I mean, for the men, man, we need to stand on what it means to be a man, not by man's standards,
Standards, yeah.
by God's standards, because what God says is means way more than what another dude says to me.
You can listen to Dr. Umar, you can listen to all of these brothers, and they can tell you that, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
But if you're not following God and you're not getting the direction and some instructions and directions for your own life, like I said, then there's really no need in you being combative with that woman. And it's vice versa. She sniffs out the weakness in you. You can have all of this going on. You can post a million things talking about what you're doing. That flatters nobody, because you're gonna have to be in the presence of these people at some time.
Right.
And when you get in the presence of them, and it's like, oh, you are clearly not all of this stuff that you post every day. And it's the same way with women too. And it's like Karen said last week, it was like the mask. Both men and women, we just need to take the mask off, present ourselves naked in front of each other. That's kind of one of the ways we'll bridge the gap. If everybody just quit faking and shaking and hooking and crooking and just be genuinely them. Give me the right to choose.
Right.
Give that sister the right to choose. Don't rob anybody of their choice because you want to be this, that, and the third, or your status is this. Stop telling people, like bro said, stop putting that out there that in the atmosphere, I got this, because once you started, you got to keep it going. In the same way with her. And that's going to bridge the gap if we just start coming before one another. Naked, pure, raw, like this is me. I ain't got it. She like, yo, this is me without the filter. You know, this is me without the lashes and the weave. This is me fully naked. Take it or leave it. Don't rob anybody of their choice.
Before we close out, I want to say this. The one thing, I'm gonna take it back to the Garden of Eden, and my take on what happened in the garden. The one thing that Adam did that nobody else did was he went and got his wife.
Right.
Because Adam didn't have to partake of the fruit. But he did because his wife, the only one that he could have, was a sinner. She became a sinner now. She's a sinner. She's in the realm of sin. She's a sinner. And he went and got her and shook her up and said, hey, we can't do this. This ain't what we're supposed to be doing. I'm going to partake of this. And this is just my analogy. This ain't what the Bible says.
Right.
I'm just looking at it. I'm just giving you what
my take.
The
book of Jeffrey.
He went and got his wife.
Mm-hmm.
He went to hell. He died to himself, and he went to hell and got his wife. He partook of the fruit. He didn't partake of the fruit. We just put it aside that he partook it because she said to. She was a sinner. And he couldn't say, God, this woman had messed up. If he had not partaken of the fruit, then things would be different. But he did. He went and got his wife. He died to himself. He partook of the fruit, went and got his wife, and continued the new life the way it was, the way it is. This is the new life. God gave you, he said, we're going to work by the sweat of our brow. He's going to give you a menstrual cycle. We're going to do all of these things that's happening. But we can't mess up like this no more. We can't do this anymore. And later on in the Bible, the redemption for the sin was to raise your child not to do the same thing that you did.
That is correct.
So before we get out of here, as our guest, Cowboy, you want to leave us with something? We're going around the room before we close out.
Man, you guys said a whole lot of interesting things. I'm just kind of absorbing all the way for this guy here talking about position. And that's one of my main things about relationships. You know, one of the things that I think our women are forgetting is we have a position as a husband, or as a godly man. Yes, it is true that our direction comes from God, and then our women follow us. But I believe nowadays that the younger generation are having a hard time understanding who we are as men. You know, like for example, to me, it's embarrassing in a one-on-one conversation having a conversation with a woman or a wife to where she's not listening and she's downgrading and calling names, even though there's not a crowd in that one-on-one conversation. It's embarrassing, but they do it a lot. You know, and they don't understand the repercussions of that because it disallows a man to be fully who he is for his woman.
Correct.
You know, he'll start lacking, you know, not doing certain things that he normally would do.
Correct.
You know, So, you know, the position of who the woman is versus who the man is very important. You know, it's very important, and I think that's one of the biggest the biggest things that women are failing to realize. You know, about relationships. You know,
Good
so
stuff, Finch.
Yeah. So for me, man, I think it's basically this group like this. I don't see a lot of people with men coming together talking like this. When it's serious like this, we talking about men and women where we disconnect. We gotta start having more stuff like this, man. Where you keep each other accountable, keep each other in check. Even the young people, old people, whatever you want to talk about. But as long as we talking to each other and have open line communication, it's gonna get better, bro. It's gonna definitely get better, man.
Fish.
Men, we got to come on.
Yeah.
We got to come on. We got to come
step
on.
up.
Yeah.
And we say we're the man.
Yeah.
But we got to be the man all the way around. We the man when it's cool to be the man.
Absolutely.
And I think we just got to be the man, even in the tough moments when it's time to step up. Even if it's calling out our own BS.
Right.
As a man, if I'm gonna be a man, I can no longer act like a boy.
That's correct.
I can no longer do childish things.
Right.
Shad, what you get from it?
I'm young, so it was like just sitting here listening to everybody talk, like just soaking up game, and then me being in a relationship, just like listening to everybody talk, like of what a man need to be like and stuff like that. And then how you were saying earlier, like how you date with a purpose, I date with a purpose too.
Yeah.
This the lady that I'm with now. This the lady that I one day, Lord willing, plan on spending the rest of my life with. For real.
Well, you got it. So you
like,
He
make
said
it
it in front of everybody.
He said it in front of everybody.
Y'all
Well,
heard
look,
it.
look. If yeah, you did.
did.
Yeah, you said it. You said it. Yeah, you said it.
Yeah,
Yeah, buddy.
So
Yeah,
you
buddy.
got what they got to do?
Say that.
Now you got what you got to stand on
You
business.
got to
Stand on business. Stand on business.
business.
Stand on business.
But
What kind of
listen,
shoes you wear when you standing on business?
you said
The
that
platform shoe with the goldfish in them
now.
joints.
You said that now. All right. You have to walk in that. If you feel like this is the woman, you have to function that way. Security, all of those things. Practice being the guy that you want to be in the future.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Take everything, continue to take everything that you saw your pops do wrong and reroute it. And I am very grateful that you are breaking curses and things that you have, and conversations that we've had. We don't got to go that deep, but yes, I commend you for rerouting the path and things that you saw me do that probably wasn't the best in a situation. My running, you don't do it. So hats off to you. We done said it all, bro. So I ain't really got nothing. I just, like I said, we standing on principles and morals. A relationship and being with a woman isn't business.
Yeah.
So we standing on principle as men, and we standing on morals. And if, as long as we stand on principles and morals, and then we get in business, the women will follow suit, and that too will bridge a lot of the gaps between the black man and the black woman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I am the barber.
And I'm